One thing that Katt Williams is great at doing is bringing the current state of the world into his comedy set. And that's exactly what he did in his latest comedy special on Netflix called The Last Report. But before we get into the things that I want to talk to you about from a licensed therapist perspective, put in the comment section, what did you think about this comedy special? If you haven't watched it yet, press pause on this, go on over to Netflix, binge watch it. It's literally only an hour long, and then come back and chat with us because we got a lot to talk about. The first thing that I want to talk about is how he mentioned mental health. I'm going to talk about this and all of the therapeutic things, but also give my personal opinion towards the end, so make sure you stay for that too. I loved how Katt Williams gave people their props and how he talked about mental health. He talked about women and men and Hispanics and Black people and all of the people in the world essentially who just don't get the credit that they deserve. It was almost like he was giving us a lesson in positive psychology, which focuses on strengths and positive attributes and positive characteristics to give people their props and to say, good job, keep going, keep doing what you're doing. It was like this underlying message of you're doing better than you think you are under your current circumstances. Him mentioning how mental health was super important was key. He was right. Without your physical health, you don't have anything, but also without your mental health, you don't have anything either. He really brought in some psychology, some psychological concepts that us as therapists teach our clients all of the time. Some therapists feel a type of way in regards to CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, but what that modality teaches is that your current thoughts impact your feelings impact your behaviors impact your outcomes. I'm gonna say it again for the people in the back because y'all did not expect to get a therapy lesson. Your thoughts impact your feelings impact your behaviors impact your outcome. So for example, if you think that you're ugly, you're gonna start to feel ugly, you're gonna start to dress ugly, you're gonna start to behave ugly, your mannerisms is gonna be like, woe is me, and guess what? The outcome is that people are going to treat you like you're ugly, right? Because they're going to be engaging with you on how you appear outwardly. And it's going to be this self-fulfilling prophecy of like, man, I think I'm ugly, I act like I'm ugly, I feel like I'm ugly, people treat me like I'm ugly. And so you're going to start to believe that because of what your internal dialogue has stated. This is why we're consistently manifesting our world with what we say and what we do and even how we think. That's why the word of God says, as a man thinketh, so is he. Things that make you go, This is also why it talks about life and death is in the power of the tongue. So when we are speaking negativity about ourselves or other people, that's a no-no. He mentioned this concept about how our brain doesn't know like positive and negative, and that's true. Our subconscious doesn't know how to determine what's real and what's fake, what's positive and what's negative. Whatever you're feeding it, it's going to believe that to be truth. So if you're feeding it junk and gunk and and negativity all of the time, guess what? Junk in, junk out. I thought that this set was classic Mike Epps. Before we get into that, I need for you to like, comment, and subscribe. It has come to my attention that only about 4 to 5% of you guys who watch my videos are subscribed to my channel, and we gotta get that number way up, okay? So go ahead, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, because that does help me to create these review videos like this for you every single week. So let's get back to it. Halfway through this, we absolutely got classic Mike Epps, right? Like how I mentioned in the beginning, he often pulls in current world events and what's happening in the world. He talked about Trump, he talked about Diddy, he talked about the Illuminati, he talked about fluoride, he talked about Kamala, he talked about agriculture, he talked about farming, he talked about his interview with Shannon Sharpe, which obviously he had to talk about because 90 million plus views. I mean, a lot of eyes and ears were on him over the last year or so, or 2 years, however long it was that he did that interview. And speaking of that interview, I did a review on that as well. So if you want to check it out, I'll pop it on screen and put it in the description so you can watch that too. My personal opinion on this is that I like a comedy special to come out swinging, okay? I like for you to just get right into it because you only got an hour, right? So he spent like the first 10 minutes, I felt like, just thanking people and, you know, just trying to like kind of revving up and warming up and slow crawling and slow walking into it. And I was like, okay, can we pick this thing up? I felt like it didn't really get good to me until about halfway through. And if I'm being honest, even though I enjoy Katt and his comedy, I didn't really laugh like I really hoped I would laugh. I don't know what's going on with the comics these days, but I feel like because of the sensitive nature of our state of the world and kind of just like our society and where things are, I haven't billowed over laughing and just like had my stomach hurt and laughing out loud over a current or a new comedy special of any of the comics in a very long time. If I want that billow over laughing type of energy, I gotta watch something real old. And I'm tired of that. I want somebody new that's gonna pop up on the scene or create something fresh where I am rolling. It was like he was talking about these things, especially when he was talking about the Illuminati. I got real close to the screen. I was like, tell us some tea. Give us the real deal of what is cracking behind the scenes. And it was kind of like the things he mentioned wasn't real Illuminati-ish, you know? Like it was just, I kind of already knew those things. So I'm like, you ain't really giving us any fresh or new content or fresh or new information. Talking about fluoride, baby, I already knew that. I wonder what the whole idea or the mindset behind the title of this comedy special called The Last Report. He didn't really mention anything being like the last report, like this was his last comedy special or this was the last time he was gonna be telling us the tea. He kind of did mention that a little bit. He said, I can't keep going back and forth to the Illuminati because, you know, I'm gonna be found out. You know, I can't keep giving y'all information. So I don't know if that's what he meant, but I'm wondering what the title means because I know that Katt does things very intentionally. And when I think about all of the other titles of some of the other current comedy specials that are out, like Kevin Hart, Acting My Age. He talked about acting his age. Dave Chappelle, The Unstoppable, ... Y'all know what it is. We understood that concept. Mike Epps, you know, like Delusional. He talked about why that was important. And so I'm wondering what the thread was because I didn't see it explicitly throughout this, but I think he made some very bold statements even in how he was showing up. Like think about it, Katt Williams, which is a random side note. I haven't seen Katt Williams without a hat, a scarf, or something in a very long time. And I'm not throwing shade or anything like that because I enjoy Katt. Like he's good people. So like I'm saying it like I know him, Lord. But he's a good comic, right? And so I don't know if it's like a receding hairline thing or he's just switching it up. But if y'all notice, he had a USA, United States of America flag, scarf, headscarf, wrap, whatever he had underneath his fitted hat, right? Out of all the things that he could have wore on his, and it was a very interesting outfit, if we're being honest, from head to toe. I was like, what are we doing here, Katt? But hey, no shade, no disrespect. But I think that was expressing a statement, right? About how he feels like no matter what's going on in this world, we all have to be united as much as possible, no matter if you are engaging with people that look like you or not. It's called the United States of America for a reason. And even if we don't feel united, we have to try to be as united as possible. So I'll say if I had to give this a rating, I would probably give it, no shade or disrespect, probably a 6.5 or 7. There was moments where I chuckled a little bit, moments where I was like, ha ha ha, that's crazy, that's wild, you know, but it wasn't real like laughter. You know, I think out of the last probably like 5 or 6 comedy specials that I have watched recently of all of the comedians on Netflix, especially the Black comedians, I'll be specific with that. I would probably say I laughed the most with Mike Epps. Yeah, and I'm not trying to compare the two because they're all different and they share different attributes and they all have their own lane, but that was just truth. So thank you so much for watching another review on my channel. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And guess what? I'll see you in the next review. Be blessed.